going on, guys? Liam here, and week 2 of the finals done. It's dusted. We know who's playing in the semi. 4 teams, 80 minutes away from a grand final. How good. And man, these games I really enjoyed. Both of these games, both for different reasons. I guess everyone would have, unless you're a Knights fan. That's a bit of a rough way to go out, but nonetheless, just as a fan, that was some dope rugby league that got played this weekend, and I loved it, man. It was so damn good. All right, guys, so we'll go over each game quickly. We'll go through each game individually and give some players some shout-outs. Wrap up, the Roosters and the Knights season briefly, and talk about the Storm and the Wars going on to the semi. We'll do a little mini preview, but obviously I'll do a full proper one next week. And dropping this video a bit early, I'm like, man, the game just finished. The Warriors, it's full fresh in my brain. I want to get this done. And so we can move on to next week, man. And let's go. All right, so Warriors obviously defeating the Roosters 18-13, and the Warriors smashing, humping, whatever other words you can think of, the Knights 40-10. How crazy. Now, just before we do get into the games, guys, I need your help. We're so damn close. We're nearly at 3K. I said I want 3K before the end of the year. We're so damn close. I think there's about 80 to go, man. So, be much appreciated if you can help me out, guys. And if you can't, I still love you. But help me out. Help me out, bro. All right, guys. So, Storm Roosters. Now, this was an odd game. I had Storm humping the Roosters with Jerome Hughes in the team. Obviously, he wasn't available. Did his calf, I believe. The calf's still niggling around. And, I was like, I think I made the wrong punt here. I did not like that at all. People don't realise, I don't have the numbers on me, but Melbourne's win rate without Jerome Hughes is shockingly low. Like, it's really, really bad. Like, I was like, someone said it to me once. I was like, that cannot be right, and it is. It was right. And we went and looked it up, and it was something in the 30% mark. You know what I mean? It was like shockingly low. I think for a few reasons. One, it's so much easier to just target one person. If you just and you saw what Roosters did, they bullied Munster. I thought they did a really good job on him. And but when you've got two guys on either side, like if you bully Munster and Jerome Hughes is no slouch. Like he's pretty damn elite. I mean, he's not quite on the the Cleary level, those sort of guys, but he's not far off. He's a very, very good player. Having said that, Tyrone Wishart, I was sitting there going, he started the first 20 minutes of that game. Tyrone Wishart was by far the best player in the park. Like he just was. He was brilliant. Like he was really, really good. I was like, geez, maybe. And I was sitting there going, yeah, Storm was still going to hump him, And then to the Roosters' credit, and if you are a Roosters fan listening to this, I've had a few of the boys go, they were so disappointed and upset and stuff like that. I was like, man, I'll be proud, eh? Like I'll be pretty damn proud of them. Like that, they were gone. Like in round 20. In round 20, it was almost mathematically impossible for them to make the finals. And then they get into the finals, lose pretty much their whole back line, and you nearly beat the Storm. You're a minute away from beating the Storm to get into the semi to play Penrith. I always say, everyone's like, well, if you didn't win a premiership, you failed. Like that's the way everyone looks at it. To me, a pass mark in the NRL is make the finals. And just as long as you go down swinging, you just don't give up and you swing and you swing and you swing. You know what I'm saying? That's an A+ for me. Well, if a premiership's an A+, maybe it's an A-, but it's the second best thing. Like, no one really cares whether you finish 2nd or 7th or 8th. If you went down swinging, you did a good job. So I thought the Roosters, and dare I say, I think the Roosters were probably the better team on the night. If we just want to break the game into minutes, I think Roosters were better for 55 to 60 minutes of this game. I thought the Roosters were the better team. Storm got on top early. And then Roosters just slowly wrestled it back and just, it was crazy when Nelson went off, when Kamikamitha went off, and they had that, what we know is a little bit of a slender forward pack. I thought the Roosters were well on top. They were doing stuff the whole game that hadn't pulled off all year. Flicks, plenty of offload, sharp. Lindsay Collins was going skits. Like, it was, I thought they were great. Like, the one, to me, what was the big letdown was I just felt like, and I don't want to bag anyone out, I don't think they were terrible or anything, but I really do feel like Punga, is that his name? Punga? I've forgotten how to say his name. And Paulo, just not elite wingers, to be polite. They were, they let them down a few times. And also, Wong, beast, love him, but geez, that flick pass he threw in his own half, what wasn't really on anyway, that turned the ball over, not a good idea, and that's just, obviously inexperience, sort of thing. You wouldn't have seen Boyd Corner throw that pass, put it that way, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just thought it was a valiant effort, really, really good. We'll have a bit of a breakdown of these guys. I thought Meaney was enormous. They don't win that game without him playing the way he played. He was so rock steady at the back. It was ridiculous. Obviously, they don't win the game without Warbrick because he snatched that out of the sky. And man, what a try. That was enormous. I nearly fell out of my chair because I had him as a try scorer as well. And then, everyone else was solid here. Munster, I wouldn't say he played bad. They just did a really good job on him, and he was pretty quiet. Wishart, like I said, great for 20, but pretty quiet. I really like starting Bronson, and I like having Harry as fresh as possible towards the end of the game. Like I said, it's very hard to win a game in the first 20 minutes, but it's very very easy to win a game in the last 20 minutes. You can come over the top of teams, and now this is the problem I see. So this is a little bit about next week, because obviously we're looking at next week as well a little bit, because this is what finals is about. Now, I didn't mind this at all, and it was clear that Craig Bellamy was front-loading his power. Very skinny bench besides that. Tarek's a beast, but he's not... what made him so powerful, and he's not powerful, he's still a very good contributor. It's just obviously doesn't quite have those young legs he used to. He used to drive dudes. So obviously when these three sort of came on and these guys came off, they lost heaps in the middle, and that's when Roosters really wrestled that back. Man, if you have a lull against the Panthers, if you have no go forward against the Panthers, even with these blokes on the field, they're going to have struggle to go forward. You think Eisenhoof and Christian Welsh are going to... If we go to their team stats, player stats, sorry, if we have a look at their forwards here. Now, Christian Welsh has some pretty good meters, but don't forget he had that line break, so that doesn't really count. So Christian Welsh got 141, but he had a 50-metre line break. Remember, he took an intercept. So let's just take that off. So you've got Kamikamitha 50 metres, let's say Christian Wells 90, Liero 90, Qatar 100 is, on an edge is not bad at all. And then you've got Nelson 81 and Tarek 43 against Roosters forward pack is not at full strength. That's not going to get it done against the Panthers. That is obviously Warbrick's pretty handy with his meters, and Nick Meaney gets a lot because they're not punchy meters, it's more just he does a lot of kick returns obviously, but Jesus Christ, they could get pumped through the middle. I think if Penrith, well obviously they're watching this game, or they're going to at least do tape on it, they'll be like, oh yeah, we can win that battle quite easily. They'll be licking their chops at these numbers. That's pretty flimsy. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's you can see, you've been able to see that Craig Bellamy's he's got a puzzle in front of him. He's trying to piece it out where they don't have a flat spot in their meters gained and they go forward. But they're just a good forward short. They're just a good forward short. And And the funny thing about this is when they were getting rid of Kenny and the Bromwich brothers and Kafusi, I was sort of like, because they were pretty average last year, those boys. Like they've been great players for a very long time, but I was sort of sitting there going, you know what, they'd probably be all right to get them off the books, get some new fresh blood in there, and Jesus Christ, they could use a Kenny Bromwich or a Jesse Bromwich right now, or a Kafusi. Maybe not Kafusi because I guess Kenny's on an edge too, but they'd kill for another guy like him right now. Like, yeah, I know he's not super punchy, but you're not going to dominate him. You're not going to dominate him. So yeah, it's Jesus Christ. It's they could really get like Nelson's a monster and Kami's a monster. Kamikami's a monster too, but Nelson, he can't do it on his own. Like all the best forward packs. Like it's always twos. Flegler Haas. You know what I mean? It's Junior Paulo RCG. Moses Fisher Harris. Like you can't, because if you got one, you just put an extra bloke on him. It doesn't matter how big you are. If you've got three blokes hitting you, you're going to, you might get a post-contact meter or two, but it doesn't really matter. But when there's two, in Broncos' case, three, Paddy Carrigan pumping through the middle as well, it becomes really, really hard. So big Nelson's on the field and Christian Welsh's, it's like, you just drop another man on that big Nelson and you're just fine. But yeah, so, Melbourne are going to have to be better than that. They're going to have to be better than that. We'll have a quick look at the team stats. And I said this from the Roosters, this has been their completion rate for the year, about 75%. And I said they're going to have to complete better than that if they want to win the game, and they just completed right on that. They did play a lot of footy in this game though, so I don't mind that because they were offloading, they were trying to unsettle Melbourne in different ways, and that's not ridiculously low for playing that sort of recklessly. But the problem was throughout the year, they weren't playing recklessly and they were still completing lower than this. Have a quick look at these stats, guys. Very easy, even running meters, relatively easy in post-contact. 3 line breaks to the Melbourne Storm, to 5 to Roosters. Jesus Christ, they're gonna just lacking that punch. There's just something missing from Melbourne. Well, obviously Paps. Tackle breaks 32, but yeah, conceded 43 line breaks. Jesus, they'll get torn to shreds. Average set distance 39 and 38. They did have nice quick play the balls, which I really liked. 16 offloads for the Roosters to 8 to the Melbourne Storm. Cam Munster's in the team, so 69 dummy passes and 68 of those were from Cam Munster. Bruh. What else we got here? Yeah, and tackle efficiency. This has got to be better. If you miss 43 tackles against Penrith, they're putting 43 points on you. Seriously. And not only that, this is what blew me away as well. Also, 22 ineffective tackles. That's a big number, man. We're getting into the 60s, 65, either missed or dud tackles, and 10 errors as well. 10's not horrendous, but you definitely want it under 10. But yeah, it was a cracking game. Melbourne, a lot of work to do if they're going to beat Penrith or, obviously their goal is to win the premiership. If they want to win a premiership and then beat, say, Penrith and then the Broncos, Jesus, they're going to be better. And Roosters, rest, recover, recap, and see you in Vegas, baby. You did a good job. You did your proud. I honestly think you did your fans proud this year. Well, at least the back end. All right, Warriors Knights. Look at these tries, baby. And I didn't hit a damn thing. Oh yeah, I hit no, I didn't actually. So I had Dallin, Dom Young for 3 or more, so I didn't get close actually. We obviously tipped the Wars, but yeah, man, what a game! Like this was magic, man. Like it was actually quite funny. I was like pumped for it, man. I did my TikTok live before, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be sick. I didn't really realize. I thought it was like full nighttime game. I was expecting the crazy light show and stuff from the Warriors, and then it was sort of a bit more. It was more dusk when it kicked off, sort of thing. But it was pumping. It was pretty funny. They were playing the scrub, so not many, if any. And then it cut to Greg Marju, and he's like rocking, like, and then his first carry drops the ball. I was like, bro, stop listening, stop vibing to Scribe and focus on the footy, bro. Just on Marju, pretty damn dicey game. He looked uncomfortable. Actually, anything hard, he looked really comfortable. On anything easy, he just looked very uncomfortable. But that's what you get with old Marsh. He's a bit rocks and diamonds. Sometimes the best are. Just give me a quick look at my notes for 1 sec. Yeah. So, Knights started slow last week. What I was worried about the Knights was, number one, you almost want to have a loss close to the finals. You don't really want to be. The Knights have been playing finals games for 10 weeks. Just about every single one of their games has been pretty close to finals intensity for them because they were so far down the ladder when they made their run. So, I was sort of expecting a game like this. It was either last week, this week, or next week, and this is why I didn't have them in the I'm not making the grand final. This league is so close. It's so easy to just be a little bit off your game, and someone jumps you like this. And boy, did they jump! It was from the get-go. Nickel Coolstad, first minute of the game, boom, try, and then AFB with the footwork. In my opinion, Dally-M prop of the year, absolutely enormous. A man like that should not have footwork like that. He is ridiculous. His try was so absurd. And then Montoya, bang. 11 minutes into the game, they're down 16 nil. Always going to be a tall task. And Warriors fans, shout out to you. You guys had that place pumping, man. That place was rocking. And get out there to Suncorp. If you're a Kiwi and you live anywhere near Brisbane, get the hell to Suncorp this weekend and get behind those Warriors. Those Warriors fans get off on you guys pumping that crowd, man. And, man, there's a lot of Kiwis in Brisbane, man. I reckon you can outnumber those Broncos, man. I reckon you can do it. Just turn Suncorp black, man. We'll have a blackout. Knights valiantly stood up and I'd almost say wrestled back ascendancy there for a while. They're a good footy team. It was just everything was against them in this travel, the home crowd. It was just everyone sort of on the Wales bandwagon. It was just, a much fresh team. Like I said last week, Knights had a rough game. I know Warriors played last week and got pumped, but it was just tackling practice and there were so many tries. There was actually not a whole heap of gameplay last week. It was literally tackling practice. And what did I say, guys? What did I say last week? I said teams after they get pumped by Penrith, pump teams the week after, because it's like going on a video game and then just going from pro to semi-pro or something on NBA 2K and you're, oh, this is way slower. This is way easier. Oh, they don't quite tackle as hard. Oh, their line speed's not quite as quick. Everything's a little bit easier. They get the week after the... It's like when a lot of players come back after playing Origin and they just carve up. So crazy. Absolutely crazy. But a few things the Knights did wrong here. Sorry, guys, I don't know why I just ate a lolly. I was going to have a lolly in the middle of chatting. So a few things the Knights did terribly wrong here, and it wasn't their fault. A lot of it, obviously, one of the major reasons was through injury. One was Sean Johnson, obviously coming off an injury. They just let him play league. So get this, for the first 25 minutes, Sean Johnson didn't get tackled or wasn't made to make a tackle for 25 minutes. Okay. Now, when you looked at it on the other side, or even if you watch Penrith play, they're turning forwards into their just turning forwards back in on that angle. Like Ford was doing it, Nakora was doing it, and just steamrolling their 7 and 6. Because the more you think about it, the more work you have. People used to do it to Thurston and Darren Lockyer all the time. Just try and feed him and maybe injure him, or at least make him tired and exhausted, so he can't destroy you on offense, sort of thing. And Newcastle's at 7 and 6. What's his name? The guy that's filling in for him. Jesus, I bloody had a brain fart. Clune? Is that his name? Bloody forgot. Yeah, Adam Clune and Gamble. They were tackling, and they got these beasts running at them. They got Ford and Nakora just blasting them. And like they made all the tackles, they were great, but it's just, you get what I'm saying? It was just like this dude was going to rip you to shreds if you just let him go through his sets and you're not firing traffic at him to make him work. Like when he went off with 10 minutes to go, he looked fresh. He didn't even look tired. You know what I mean? Like, so that was pretty bad. And the other thing they did terribly wrong, and they did a lot right. I'm not bagging the Knights here. They kept getting Tyson Gamble to kick. Adam Clune's a great kicker. I genuinely think Tyson Gamble is... everyone's like, oh, he's got so good since he's been at the Knights. I thought he was really good at the Broncos. I really like Tyson Gamble as a player. He's not your go-to guy. He's not your number one. Clune should have been doing the kicking. Like, Tyson Gamble is a great number two man, or a great tandem with another great half. He shouldn't have been doing all the kicking and all that sort of stuff. Not only that, because he's a taller, bigger guy, and this is why I don't like Matt Burton at number 7. It takes too long to kick. It's the first time I've actually heard a commentator say it. I was watching on KO, and Mick Innes is a pretty smart commentator. Obviously, he thinks like me. He said Tyson Gamble's just taken way too long to get his kicks off. It's just a bigger, slower motion when you're a bigger guy. That's why when you see Burton put a Burton bomb up, he stands nearly 15 metres back, because otherwise we'll get tackled because it takes so long to set up. Whereas you look at a Reynolds, Cleary, even Sean Johnson, drop it on the boot, bang, the ball's down the thing. They barely get hit, sort of thing. Whereas Tyson Gamble was shanking kicks, not putting kicks in the right areas because it takes so long for him to set up and he's got pressure on him. Tyson Gamble, he should not be the primary kicker. I have no idea why they did that. Especially when you've got Kalen Ponga and Clune in your team. Like, I actually heard the commentator said this as well, and I never thought of it, but I totally agree. Adam Clune's biggest strength, and it's not close, is his kicking game. And he didn't do barely any kicking. It was bizarre. So 2 massive F-ups from the Knights there. But besides that, effort, resilience, determination, all effort stuff I really liked from them. Again, they can be proud. They went down swinging. They got KO'd in the final round, but they went down swinging as well. I was pretty proud of them. They were great. And also Warriors as well just did such a good job of shutting down Kalen Ponga, which obviously the Knights play a little bit similar to the Broncos. Broncos are better at it. But the way Kalen Ponga sweeps around like that and all that sort of stuff, they shut that down masterfully. And I was sitting there going, ooh, geez, they might be able to do this to Reece Walsh. Because it's not like Reece Walsh is way quicker than Ponga or anything like that, but they were shutting Ponga down real quick. So we'll have to wait and see, man. But, yeah, it was a really good effort from the Warriors. Let's have a look at some of their team stats real quick, player stats real quick. We'll have a look at the Wars. We'll give them a rap. Oh, yeah, I've got to give this dude a rap. Nickel Coolstar. Check this shit out. 308 running metres, 101 post-contact. Line break, assist, try, assist, 8 tackle breaks. You ran for 308 metres in a final. You ran for 101 metres with dudes hanging off you. While dudes are trying to tackle you, you carry them for 101 metres. Man, that is ridiculous. That is such an effort, man. That was absolutely ridiculous. And then just nice numbers from all their back five, just all in the Rocco Berry 100, but everyone else well over 100. Adam Fanua-Blake, just brilliant. And the best thing about this was they got to play Adam Fanua-Blake for about 20 less minutes than he normally plays. They got, who else did they get off? They got Egan off. That was more from a head knock, but they also got Sean Johnson off as well for a little break at the end of the game as well. It was only 7 minutes, but still, man, seven more minutes of recovery. But yeah, just obviously, yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's going to be... I cannot wait for the Broncos-Warriors game. This is going to be massive, like absolutely massive. Let's have a look at the team stats real quick. All right. We have, plenty of extra possession from the Warriors. Completion rate, beautiful. So was the Knights, not too bad at all. Ran for 2Ks, 700 post contact, 7 line breaks, 47 wow, this is just a straight hiding. Won the ruck. Didn't offload like crazy. 5 offloads, very un-Warriors. No, it's actually the new Warriors. The new 88% tackle efficiency, great, that'll get it done. 28 missed tackles, always said if that's under 30, you're doing good. Errors 10, obviously you'd love if that was 9 or less, but not bad at all. God damn, up the wars, how good. All right, let's have a quick look at the casualty ward for next week, see if people are coming back. So we got Tiny May. All right, so Jerome Lewart says week 3 of finals. Next week is week 3 of the finals. Tago, pectoral, to be confirmed. I think they need him, eh? Well, they don't need him, but I really think they'd want him. Tiny May. All right, so who else? We got boys of Broncos. So Melbourne, Xavier Coates ankle, so it looks like he'll be back. Jerome Hughes, week 3 as well. Yeah, okay, so some big inclusions if these are correct. And Warriors are all good. Obviously not Metcalf. All right, so let's have a look at next week, lads. Let's have a look at next week. Just a real brief one. We'll just have a real quick look over this. All right, so Panthers $1.18 against Melbourne Storm. When have we ever seen prices like this? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely insane. So we don't have team lists or anything out yet, guys, but Penrith have been absolutely putting Melbourne to the sword lately. Yeah, this obviously hasn't all been updated, but yeah, this could get ugly. Nah, Storm will step up for this. And then Warriors Broncos $1.25 to $4. Warriors fans, Sportsbet is out here disrespecting you. They don't think you have a chance, man. They're disrespecting you out here. Team stats. So this was the game with players rested for Origin. And this was last year. Warriors beating them. What's the win rate like at this venue? 59. Ooh, I thought Warriors had a good strike rate here at this venue. I feel like Warriors have won more games than 6 at Suncorp. Is that not wrong? I'm sure they've won 6 this decade. That has to be wrong. Okay, anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a cracker, man. So give me early predictions on this one, guys. Yeah, like I said, Penrith, for me, it's going to have to be bucketing down rain and they're off their game for Storm to win this one. And for me, if Warriors are going to win this one, they've got to jump the Broncos early and just not let them back into it. Just come out and just obliterate them. If they can get 12, 14 points up early, I genuinely think the Warriors will probably be able to hold them out. But Jesus, Broncos are looking the goods, man. It's all things if you're just going straight on numbers perspective, it's looking like a Broncos Penrith grand final for real. But oof, I cannot wait. All right, lads, that's it. We're done and dusted. Semi-finals next week, guys. Bring it on. All right, so I will do my preview video on Tuesday once team lists are out, guys. And before all the finals games too, if you are following me on TikTok, I'm going live before all those as well, just to talk a bit of trash, go over our punts and all that sort of stuff too, guys. So make sure you follow me over on there. And thank you all so much. That's great way to finish. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.